Hey everybody, Randy with 3D Junk Removal and Dumpster Rentals, and also Texas Pro Dumpster Rentals. I'm going to do a quick video on how we unload this can here, this roll-off. It's actually full, and I do have one at the customer's property that's full as well. I'm going to drop this one off here in our yard, and I'm going to go pick up the other one at the customer's property and dump it. All right, so first on these, you got to make sure your power's on, which is a main switch in here. I usually keep it off, save battery. Once you ensure that power switch is on, this one we got the tarp on, so we'll go ahead and we have the button over here. Just roll this tarp up. Got our handy dandy little remote here. Power it up. Just got 4 buttons. It's gonna raise it up. And then you got your 2 winch buttons down here at the bottom. And all you do is just release it there. This is where you guys, oh. And then what you also got to remember is your safety chain. I forget every time. I don't use the safety chain, but my foreman does, and I was out of town. He was using this while I was out of town, and there's a chain here, and he puts this lock on, which is smart. Okay, now let's try that again. Like I said, my foreman does it, but I don't do it. So once again, we're going to raise it up. You'll start learning the height and how far you think you need to go to get it off there. Sometimes it gets stuck on there, you just raise it a little higher. So now we'll use the winch and we'll drop it. I don't got a lot of room back here, and I don't really want to try to get it all the way back in there, so we're pretty much going to hit the ground here. As you can see, it's kind of tilting, so you raise it up a little higher. Hit ground back there. It'll probably stop rolling here in a second. Yep. You can do it 2 ways. You can sit here and raise this up higher, from what I've learned, because I've only been doing this a few weeks. At this point though, soft ground like that happens, pretty much gonna have to get in the truck and pull it forward a little bit. So this is where what I'll be doing is checking the back behind us. At this point, I'm actually looking back there, and I'm going to put the truck in drive, and then I'll drive it forward a little, and I keep giving it slack on the winch. It'll pull against me when it realizes it's, when it needs more slack, and then you just keep pulling forward. The bad thing about that is, if you're not out there, if you're trying to drop it off the trailer like this, doing it this way, what's not smart about it, so then here you just keep winching it back, going forward in the truck. You don't want to have your trailer, here I'll show you. When you're dropping these cans, you don't want the trailer to be tilted very high. I mean, you don't want it to be low, you want it to be tilted pretty high, so the bottom rail is pretty much at the ground, so that when, and it's actually rolling a little now, so when this trailer does drop, you basically are softly placing it down. You don't want it dropping from a foot or two. And this right here, yes, was caused by me. We've only, like I said, we've only had these a few weeks. This was my attempt at trying to unload it. Texas Pride has been great with their customer service, and they sent me paint to fix that. They also have a can over there that had some damage to the door, and they are paying for it to get done. And this winch cable had some damage to it, and they've already sent me a winch cable. But so here, it's pretty much, as you can see, it's pretty much level with the ground, and so it's okay to drop off at that point. So that, and what I'll do now is just pull the truck forward, and it'll just come off. Okay, now it's off back there. At this point, well, it wasn't off as far as it was, so I'll end up pulling a little bit forward, because you don't want to be dropping this trailer down while it's still under the wheels. Clearly, one negative I have found from Texas Pride that I'm going to fix myself and tell them about is there is nowhere to put this winch hook once you get done. So what I do, I put it down here, and I winch it, and I just hook it in right here, and that's where I hook it in just like that, so that it'll run up there. Then you got to tighten it up. And that's where it stays. I don't agree with that. So they could easily just weld a loop on right there and be a lot easier. But let me pull this forward a little bit. Okay, we pulled the truck forward, got away from the can, and now all we're gonna do is lower it using this button here. This is the opposite button, and it's just gonna. Another small bad design that they did is these two safety hooks right here. This safety hook right here, you pretty much every time will have to kind of keep an eye on it or stick your hand in there, because what it does, it jams right there and the whole trailer gets jammed. So you got to make sure you mess with it so that it falls in place. That's happened to me multiple times. Okay, so the trailer's down. I'm gonna tighten this winch up just a little bit more. Cable, I'll leave the cable down there, and we're good. Okay, so yeah, that's how you drop a roll off. I'll tell you, I think we are on now, what, like week 3. This will be the 3rd week I've had it. Was on vacation for the last 4 or 5 days, but it didn't take me too long to figure it out. I would say the first couple were kind of hairy. Literally took probably 15-20 minutes of me loading it and unloading it to line them up right. But now that I've got the hang of it, I love this system. Overall, I'm very pleased with the Texas Pride roll-off trailer so far. Tomorrow is going to be a test, and not because of this specific roll-off, but just because of the driveway that I'm putting it in. It's a steep driveway up a hill, and it's a nice HOA neighborhood, brand new houses, and so trying to get this gooseneck in that spot. And then the customer just called me and told me that he's got another contractor that has his dump trailer in the driveway as well, so I'm gonna have to be doing quite a few things to get this maneuvered up that hill, steep little slope into the driveway, and not hitting the other trailer. And so we'll get it figured out. But overall, man, I love this trailer. I don't, you know, the little quirks here and there that I have found on it, you know, they'll work themselves out. I'll talk to Texas Pride also and you know, give them my 2 cents on what I think that could be fixed and better on it. But I'm very pleased with their customer service, whether you like their workmanship or their QC department. If they're not your best, the customer service makes up for it. Well more than makes up for it so far that I have dealt with. Anyhow, that's how you unload the roll off. And now I'm going to go pick one up. And this one that I dropped off, I made video. It's going to be a bit of a tricky one. It's not a level roll off. When we dropped it off, the dumpster was a little bit of a slant. One of the edges is not on the ground. We'll see how we can figure that out. It's going to be a little tricky one, but I'll probably record that too. Have a good